Welcome, baseball fans, to Baseball Update. This is show number 415, and we'll start with the baseball schedule. And here is the schedule for Wednesday, April 15. Cleveland Indians hosting the Chicago White Sox at 12:10. Atlanta Braves hosting the Miami Marlins at 12:10. Boston Red Sox hosting the Washington Nationals at 1:35. Also for Wednesday, Texas Rangers hosting the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim at 2:05. Pittsburgh Pirates hosting the Detroit Tigers at 7:05. Baltimore Orioles hosting the New York Yankees at 7:05. And correction, Pittsburgh and Detroit, that game is also at 7:05. Other games for Wednesday, Toronto Blue Jays hosting the Tampa Bay Rays at 7:07. New York Mets hosting the Philadelphia Phillies at 7:10. Chicago Cubs hosting the Cincinnati Reds at 8:05. Minnesota Twins hosting the Kansas City Royals at 8:10. Houston Astros hosting the Oakland A's at 8:10. St. Louis Cardinals hosting the Milwaukee Brewers at 8:15. And the rest of the card for Wednesday, San Diego Padres hosting the Arizona Diamondbacks at 9:10. LA Dodgers hosting the Seattle Mariners at 10:10. San Francisco Giants hosting the Colorado Rockies at 10:15. Now, is a review for Tuesday, April 14, since we have a bunch of games for Tuesday. We have, right now, Boston Red Sox hosting the Washington Nationals at 6:10 for Tuesday night. Pittsburgh hosting Detroit at 7:05. The Orioles hosting the Yankees at 7:05. Also for Tuesday, the Blue Jays hosting the Tampa Bay Rays at 7:07. And this is for Tuesday, April 14. Cleveland Indians hosting the Chicago White Sox at 7:10. Atlanta Braves hosting the Miami Marlins at 7:10. And of course, the big one today, the New York Mets hosting the Phillies at 7:10. Matt Harvey returning to the mound at Citi Field, the Citi Field mound. And Buchanan is on for Philly. And the Mets right now, 4-3. The Phillies, 3-4. Some other games for Tuesday. The Chicago Cubs hosting the Cincinnati Reds at 8:05. Texas Rangers hosting the LA Angels of Anaheim at 8:05. And the rest of the schedule for Tuesday, Houston Astros hosting the Oakland A's at 8:10. San Diego Padres hosting the Arizona Diamondbacks at 10:10. LA Dodgers hosting the Seattle Mariners at 10:10. And the San Francisco Giants hosting the Colorado Rockies, and that game is at 10:15. Okay. So, let's take a quick break, and then we'll take a look at some scores. Haven't been here in a while. Took a couple days off. So, quick break and the scores. Baseball Update continues. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Baseball Update. So, let's see. We're in here Friday. We'll do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, all the scores, and then we'll get out of here. We do the schedule first, so that's the important stuff, and then we just putz around with the scores. Again, Baseball Update is recorded the day before, so we record on Tuesday night. We start with the Wednesday night schedule, and whatever schedule's left over for that particular recording day, and then we go over the scores. So that's Baseball Update. Now that spring training is over, and we're really in it now. Okay, so let's get started. Here are the scores from Friday, April 10th. Toronto Blue Jays defeat the Orioles 12-5. The Astros defeat the Rangers 5-1. The Rockies over the Cubs 5-1. Tigers over the Indians 8-4. Twins over the White Sox 6-0. Red Sox defeat the Yankees 6-5, and this was in 19 innings. I was keeping track of the score. I was actually down in Florida, but I have the MLB at Bat app, and I was like, oh my goodness. This game went into 19 innings. 6 runs, 18 hits, 1 error for the Red Sox. 5 runs, 14 hits, 1 error for the Yankees. The rest of the scores from Friday. Philly defeats the Washington Nationals 4-1. The Reds over the Cardinals 5-4. The Marlins defeat the Rays 10-9. 10 runs, 13 hits, 0 errors for the Marlins. 9 runs, 10 hits, 0 errors for the Rays. And that game actually went into 10 innings. The Atlanta Braves defeat the New York Mets 5-3 on Friday. Pirates over the Brewers 6-2. Diamondbacks over the Dodgers 4-3. The Royals over the Angels 4-2. The Athletics over the Mariners 12-0. 12 runs, 16 hits, 0 errors for the Athletics. 0 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the Mariners. And then finally from Friday, the Padres defeat the Giants 1-0. They actually have the Padres with 1 run, 5 hits, 0 errors. The Giants 0 runs, 5 hits, 0 errors. And we'll continue now. Here are the scores from Saturday, April the 11th. The Red Sox over the Yankees 8-4. Cardinals defeat the Reds 4-1. White Sox defeat the Twins 5-4. The Mariners defeat the A's 5-4. Tigers over the Indians 9-6. Tampa Bay over the Marlins 2-0. The rest of some more other scores from Saturday. The Orioles defeat the Blue Jays 7-1. Phillies defeat the Nationals 3-2. Mets defeat the Atlanta Braves 3-5. The Brewers defeat the Pirates 6-0. Rangers over the Astros 6-2. The Cubbies over the Rockies 9-5. And the rest of the scores from Saturday. Diamondbacks defeat the Dodgers 6-0. The Padres defeat the Giants 10-2. 10 runs, 20 hits, and 2 errors for the San Diego Padres. 2 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error for the Giants. And then the last game from Saturday, the Kansas City Royals defeating the Angels 6-4. This is Baseball Update. Here are the scores from Sunday, April 12th. Detroit Tigers over the Cleveland Indians 8-5. The Cardinals defeat the Reds 7-5 in 11 innings. Tampa Bay defeats the Marlins 8-5 on Sunday. The Mets defeat the Braves 4-3. Toronto defeats Baltimore 10-7. Nationals over the Phillies 4-3. White Sox over the Twins 6-2. Some other scores from Sunday. Pirates defeat the Brewers 10-2. Astros defeat the Rangers 6-4. Kansas City Royals defeat the LA Angels of Anaheim 9-2. Mariners over the A's 8-7. The Cubbies defeat the Rockies 6-5. The Dodgers over the Diamondbacks 7-4. The Padres over the Giants 6-4. And the last one from Monday, the Yankees defeat the Red Sox 14-4. Tanaka on the mound for the Yankees, and Buchholz on the mound for the Sox. 14 runs, 16 hits, 1 error for the Yankees. 4 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for the Red Sox. Alright, baseball update. And we'll go over the scores from Monday. And class will be dismissed. Of course, the big news in town is the home opener for the New York Mets on Monday. In attendance was Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld. There you go. So the Mets defeat the Phillies yesterday for the first time for their first game at Citi Field 2-0. DeGrom on the mound for the Mets, Herring on the mound for Philly, and of course Familia with the save. That's his second save and no home runs that whole game. It says right here, home runs, none. Alright, so the rest of the scores from Monday. Pittsburgh over the Pirates defeat the Detroit Tigers 5-4. The Boston Red Sox over the Washington Nationals 9-4. Kansas City Royals defeat the Minnesota Twins 12-3. Milwaukee Brewers over the St. Louis Cardinals 5-4. Colorado Rockies over the San Francisco Giants 2-0. The scores from Monday. New York Yankees defeat the Baltimore Orioles 6-5. Tampa Bay Rays over the Toronto Blue Jays 2-1. Atlanta Braves defeat the Miami Marlins at 3-2. Chicago Cubs defeat the Cincinnati Reds 7-6. Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim defeat the Texas Rangers 6-3. The Oakland A's defeat the Houston Astros 8-1. Arizona Diamondbacks over the San Diego Padres 8-4. And finally, the LA Dodgers defeat the Seattle Mariners 6-5. Okay, and that's all for today, ladies and gentlemen. Some programming notes. Community radio, which we're music from the 20s, 30s, 40s. We're still waiting for some licensing to come through, so it's taking a little longer than we thought. But once we get that finalized, community radio will be back up and running. That's a real big project that we're working on. The Racing Podcast returns April 23rd, so I'll let you know about that. And baseball update will be back tomorrow. So, we did a little overtime today, ladies and gentlemen. A little time and a half. From the American Podcasting Center in New York, I've been your host, Manny Allegretta. Be good and be safe. And this has been Baseball Update.